Guys, have you ever seen anything like this before? Bert's here. Is that not the most British tan lines? That's not dirt, that's genuine tan lines. That's amazing. Wow, they're like Hobbit legs. Bilbo Bert here.
Morning everybody, Nick at B&P. Just want to thank you all you new subscribers. Please make sure you click the link at the bottom. Really appreciate all the comments, been fantastic. This week we're doing a driveway in Hucknall, Nottingham. Pretty straightforward job, nice little rectangle. So we're going to be digging out with the JCB, installing a sub base, path edgings. I think there's a recessed manhole lid and all sorts. Also, there's been a few comments about my constant changing glasses. Reason being, I have a bad right eye. It's not a fashion statement. I tried to make it one, but it's not. Yeah, I've got something wrong with my right eye, so sometimes I struggle to see. So I wear the sunglasses so I can actually, to avoid getting migraines and so on. I get ocular migraines. So yeah, never know when going to strike like today. Got a bit of a headache, so I have to put them on, otherwise it gets worse. That being said, let's crack on.
See, Chris is here, ready to rock and roll on the digger. Gonna get the bucket in here, start getting these edgings in this tarmac up. So we're gonna be relaying this whole area here, taking up all the tarmac. I think we're just coming to this point here, to be fair, and up to the door where Ryan's digging out. So folds there is rocked up, 5 minutes late, 4 minutes late. That means it's his round for coffee this morning. What's your reason for being late? Couldn't be arsed. What do you do, eh? What can you do? What can you say? Right, so Chris is using the toothed bucket to lift and break the tarmac. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, here comes the edging. If we're lucky, we could hit a gas main. Let's fold it up. Getting stuck in as usual. Top man you are, Folder. Top Folder. Don't ever go changing. Don't go changing trying to please me. Absolutely bone idle. Poor Ryan does all the heavy work. He's on and up. Folded arms. That's what I call it, folded up. Folded arms. Well anyway, the tarmac's coming out beautifully. This is hard work. There's a bit of a story with regards to the JCB. We used to have an operator who worked for us called Jim. Unfortunately had a major heart attack and passed away about 6-7 years ago. And up until that point, none of us had really used a JCB before. So we literally got a bankload and we bought one and we just went for it. Like I mean, they're not that difficult once you get used to it, but, and I dare say people say in the comments, but you know, there's a difference to using these machines on a building site than there is on a domestic property. You know, digging out these side passageways and going around the back with them and digging out, you know, it's pretty tough going. There's a small margin for error in terms of damaging things. So it was a bit overwhelming at first, but yeah, we're battling it out and now we're self-sufficient with it all. Although she has seen better days, bless her. So maybe I have to look to getting a new one in the next couple of years. So what Ryan's doing here is he's trying to break across it to get the bucket in to lift the tarmac out, makes it a bit easier. In theory. Every now and again we'll come across this where literally this 6-inch path edging is an inch thick, and the concrete of it is literally this whole thing under the ground here. This is all concrete, and this is all concrete. You know, they've probably backed it up with about 4 ton of concrete. So obviously it's too heavy for the machine to lift. So now I've got to breaker it all back out. As per usual, we've done a couple of jobs around here. So we're going to go have a little nosy and see how they're looking after a couple of years. I think it's a few years on one of them. So we're literally working there, and these 2 jobs, there's one over here, there's one over here. So we'll go and have a little look. There's number 1. A bit damp this morning, bit of overhanging tree, but looking good. Here's the other one here. This one's about 3, I think 4 years old now. 2 recessed manhole lids. Still looking nice and level and flat, which is what we want. Nice little border there with some curbing we did. Beautiful. So, we're all dug out ready. Grab lorries here. So ready to get rid of some more. So it's Tuesday morning, missed a bit of filming this morning in that I had a doctor's appointment. So the stone's been in and whackered, we've had the sand and materials delivered. And Chris is just setting up a string line to install some edgings along the right boundary. See, this side of the driveway was slightly higher, it was like a slabbed area. So what we're doing is we're going to run edgings, path edgings in on concrete, with a slight raise up to this end for the blocks to follow all the way down.
Okay, so we're doing the backing up now for these edgings. Just give you a couple of tips when you're doing this. What you want to do is get your mix and make it slightly drier than normal. What you don't want to do is have a nice wet mix, and it's going to stain all up on the edgings, stain all these slabs when you try and put it in. So we've made it tacky, so there's moisture in it, but it's not going to stain. Another tip when you're doing this as well, don't just pick it up on your trowel like this, which is going to go everywhere. Make yourself a little line, drop the trowel in, that's going to go up on there. And then when you come down here, drop that in there. Show you a couple of these going in. Hard to do and film at the same time, but you want to really compress that down. Can't state how important it is to compress it. That's going to go in there, and then afterwards, when that's in all the way up, I'm going to give this a wash down, allow some water to go on the top, and then float it off nice and smooth. Lovely jubbly. So that's all done. Clean next door's drive as well, made it spotless. Like to clean up as we go. And as you can see with this dry mix now that's gone in, I'm going to come along and just going to saturate that. And I'm going to go over that with the trowel again and compress it all down, just in case there's any air gaps, which there shouldn't be because I've compressed it hard enough. But just in case, obviously that water will drop down into any crevices. We'll compress it again. I've left about a 5mm gap, and luckily it's quite dry today, so later on I'm going to go back up, top that up and put that flush all the way down and make a nice finish of it. We've got Ryan on the sand, he's levelling that all about, raking it flat. We're going to whack that in a minute and set our screed bars from the garage down to the road, and away we go. I'm just finishing off these edgings just to give you a little idea of what I was talking about. So as we're going down, even though I really compressed this down, as you saw me doing it, you'll see that when it gets wet, push it in, there's still voids that appear underneath that. Now most people would have left that thinking that's going to be solid, and over time it's going to drop down into the voids, and that's going to weaken this whole structure. So you want to really compress it in. Unfortunately, I've got to use my fingers because that's the only thing that fits. Let's see, some bits are solid and then some bits, voids, will have appeared. So I'm going to really compress that in and make sure that's solid. You see there, there's bits that are and bits that aren't, where basically when we've wet it, it's allowed the water to go in and it started to wash down into the joints that you may not have seen. So you may compress that all the way down, but there'll be like a small joint here, a small hole, and that will wash into it over time, and it's going to cause you a lot of problems. So just make sure that you go back. Really can't stress enough how important it is to compress that. Okay guys, so we've stuck the manhole in. We've gone 2 course below the DPC, which as you can see there, that's in the British standard, and that's where the garage is lying. So we've gone just slightly higher on that end, so there's enough fall going down towards the road. We've not put a drainage channel across as the customer didn't want it, so that's on the homeowner. See there? We've set a manhole to that line, and we've got it level across. We put a bit of a bigger lid on the inside because personally I think the small little ones that you get don't really look good when you cut them in, they're a bit too small. And we've concreted the inside, and we've got 4 going down because the drainage channels do have little tiny holes in the corner that allows water to drain through, so there will be a little bit of water that comes through, so that's going to drain off into the manhole. And we've just gone to get a new multi-tool blade, and we're going to cut that down perfectly to the concrete. Lovely jubbly.
I tell you what, Folder, there's nothing more I love in life than being sent to the builders merchants and wearing a seatbelt. So what do you reckon, Folder?
Hey, life.
Safety, the safety you feel when you got your belts on is phenomenal. Joking aside, always wear your seatbelt. We've been told off. We forgot the other week. Right, so me and Folder, we're off to the builders merchants. We need to pick up some more pap edgings, as we've decided to put them on both sides of the job with a view to getting it finished up tomorrow, if possible. Yeah, so we're just heading down there now. Just got to Frank Key's at Bulwell, and it's apparently still click and collect only on whatever, so I don't understand that. That's ridiculous. It's probably one of the biggest shops around here at the minute, so yeah, we're not going to bother now. We're just going to go to Travis Perkins instead. Also, at Travis Perkins, they have a little free tea, coffee and soup machine. So I've got myself a cheeky little tomato soup. Foldy's got his lot. Drinking and driving again, look. Won't be the first time. Last time cost me about 21 months. Right, so as you can see, these edgings are in. We've knocked the sand around. Connor just putting another mix in. Just got to sand this bit up here. Manhole's set. I'm going to dig a trench along here now, put another set of edgings all the way up, with a view to basically then when we put the driveway in tomorrow, we might be near enough to be able to get it finished tomorrow. We'll lay it all in, cut it all in, and because all the sides would be already backed up with concrete and the edgings, in theory, if things go to plan, it is possible we can get it done tomorrow. So we'll see, or if not, worst case, we'll have to wash it down and come back Thursday morning for an hour just to give it a wash down. So that would be the plan. Got my good friend Sean coming to fetch the machine this afternoon, take it back to the warehouse for storage until next Monday. So the problem we're having is it's just deliveries. Like I said, we've had the delivery to get these to this point we're at now, but we can't get the blocks here till late this afternoon. So the problem is if we screed all this sand, get it all screed ready for laying blocks, and it rains or people walk over it overnight or whatever else, it just damages, so there's no point doing it. So we've just decided we're gonna just leave early, get here tomorrow, screed the whole thing and lay it, and that's the best way to do things. Like I say, if we run the risk of screeding it with the hope that the blocks turn up at 2 o'clock and they don't, we're in trouble and we'll have to do it all again, so it's just pointless. And like I say, years of experience, it's just not worth doing it. Morning everybody, it's Wednesday at B&P Paving. We're not having a good week this week, so it's just been a lot of stop and starting. So Monday we kind of worked till lunch, that's all we could do in terms of dig out. We couldn't get the blocks here yesterday morning. We got some material, so we managed to sort of dig out, stone up, get the sub base in, all the path edgings are in and concreted, and we're ready to rock and roll, sand, screed and lay with the blocks. So yeah, the hold up yesterday was the blocks didn't get it till late afternoon, so there was no point hanging around to do it. But as I've pulled up to the job, I have spotted another problem. So the blocks have been delivered yesterday afternoon. However, because we weren't here to tell the driver otherwise, he has put them on the driveway. So we now have 4 ton of blocks in the way. So we've had to make a call back to the builders merchants, who very kindly are going to come and lift them off shortly and put them back on the pavement for us. Otherwise, obviously, they're going to obstruct us screeding and laying. So yeah, it's not going our way this week, but you know, we'll still get done on time. We've got till Friday, it's Wednesday morning. The customer just come out and it turns out that she told them to put them there. So the Johnnies, the delivery, were going to put it on the pavement, but the customer thought otherwise and told them to put it on the drive. So it's the way it works, unfortunately. So yeah, these things happen. We'll have it sorted. Looking at the area, it's not too much of a problem in that we can probably set the screed bars and start screeding to here until they get moved, so that buys us a bit of time to get going. So I think that's what we're going to do. Right, so we've got the whacker, just warming it up with a choke on. Gonna whacker and compact all this sand. Get ready to set the bars and screed. Come on, Bolter. Have you got your seatbelt on? Have you got your seatbelt on? So we're just setting, or Ryan is just setting the screed bar. What we're trying to do is, if you look, we're setting the bar and the blocks as 10 mil just above, I don't know if you can see that, just above here. So obviously when we compact it, will go down the 10 mil and be flush. So that's really where you want to set your bar. So it's 9:30. We've now screeded the majority of the drive, about 80% screeded. Johnnies have just turned up, so they're going to lift these blocks off the driveway onto the pavement. We're going to finish screeding and then start laying some blocks, hopefully. There we go. Love a bit of machine driving. Right, that's then moved and we can now finish screeding, have a little break and start laying. So we've taken the bars out now, we're just taking them out, and we've got a hand float, so we put a bit of sand in and we hand float those gaps back in, make sure we can pack the sand. We're gonna enjoy a spot of, well, it's kind of lunch, breakfast, it's about 10:30, around the back, which is, we did this back garden years ago. It's like 15 years old now, bar the artificial turf. She's had that done more recently, but what do you think, guys? Looks good. There's also like a half, I don't know if you can see like a circle kit at the bottom. So it's aged in quite well now. Looks good, but not as good as my crisps. This is what it's got to. It's got to this point in life. It used to be bacon, egg, cobs, bacon, sausage, egg, full English baguette. And now I'm on the chicken salad because of the old cholesterol. Right, so that's it all laid up. I've got some halves to cut to go in here. I think Ryan's just gonna, he's marked, we're just gonna cut this garage lip's a bit uneven, so we're gonna cut that straight. He's already marked up the borders around here to cut, so we can drop the border blocks in. And yeah, hopefully, shall be done later. Right, so that is all the borders cut and dropped in. Customers asked for it to be in the same colour, which is quite rare, but it does make the driveway look bigger. If it looks a bit discoloured, we've just given it a jet wash off, and we're just about to give it another going over as well. Going to re-back up all these edgings on concrete, a bit more concrete at the back of them, some gravel in here tomorrow, recess lids in and cut in. That's it really. Give it a nice wash down. Sand and whack up in the morning. Action shot look. Bit of an action shot look. That's what jet washing looks like in case anyone didn't know. When it comes to jet washing, the more the better. Because you think it's clean and then it dries and it's not. Keep on washing, especially because the weather's nice today. So we can afford to wash it. It should be dry by the morning. Don't mind up now, it's ready to be rain. Our man David's turned up to get rid of these rubbish bags. We use these, Dave picks them up. Save us a bit of money in terms of skips. I think the skip's about 400 quid on the road. Get about 6 ton in it. Obviously Dave will get rid of 16 ton for a fraction of that. So a bit of advice there, always use a grab lorry rather than a skip where possible. There's Chris, look, parking over someone's drive again. He's going to get told off, look. Oh no, he's moved it. Obviously, he's in there, there's a fight going down. Obviously, Dave at DJ Projects Limited would never do such a thing.
I would park over anyone's drive.
Would never do that, David, ever.
Well, respect.
I thought you was threatening to ram an old lady's car out of the way last week, weren't you? Nice one, David. See you in a bit. Laters. Morning, guys. It's early Thursday. It's about 7:30. Just on site now, ready to sand whacker. I think we've kind of tidied up. We'll be finished in a couple of hours, I hope. Massively regretting last night. I had to go to. I booked to go to I wouldn't call it a concert. Like a talk in Birmingham. So I got up at 5 yesterday. Did a full day's work. Left for Birmingham at 5 p.m. Went down there, had some lunch, watched this show. Long story short, got to sleep about 1 in the morning last night. I was back up at 5 to finish this. So I'm gonna get this job done. we're going to, I've got a couple of quotes to go on, as that's always important, and then I'm going to go home and hopefully get some shut eye, because as you can see, my eyes are more squinty than usual. So yeah, let's show you how we get on. So this is where we're at currently. See this white here, this is like salts or effervescences coming out of the blocks. So if anyone has any work done and you see this, don't panic. It sort of comes out of the blocks due to moisture and then it fades. Brickwork does the same, so I won't worry. Also, the edgings are on the front. We spoke to the homeowner. This job was done on a bit of a budget for them. You know, we try and keep our prices reasonable. We have to work to the customer's budget. And we realised if we took these out, with the amount of concrete that was in here, it would have ripped up and damaged the whole pavement, which technically we're not supposed to touch. But yeah, meaning we'd have had to, there'd just been more expense to try to get it re-tarmacked in and everything else. So we've sort of had to leave that. But it's one of those things, unfortunately, sometimes you have to work to what the allowance of the customer. These blocks as well, how do we put it? They're the most economical way of paving. These are like your standard brick. There's multiple colours and things. But yeah, these are our bread and butter jobs, really. I mean, to be fair, if we had jobs like this every week, I'd be a happy man. They're dead straightforward. But yeah, these are the kind of jobs we do to get. This is just a basic driveway on a budget. Let's get it done. People want to park cars on it that drip oil. You know, that's what it is. See, if you've got skills, I don't think I'm going to do it one-handed. You can sort of push it in one, lose it across the drive. So it's also quite handy to have sand down, because as you whack her, it leaves tracks and you can see where you've been up and down. And as I say, we like to go over 8 to 10 times. Or sometimes, as when the blocks start cracking, you've whacked it enough. As they say in the industry. Guys, have you ever seen anything like this before? Bert's here. Is that not the most British tan lines? That's not dirt, that's genuine tan lines. That's amazing. Wow, they're like Hobbit legs. Bilbo Bertie. Right, so we've just gravelled up this border, give it a wash down. The gravel always seems to come a bit dirty. Ryan's just giving it a final wash down. And yeah, smashed it, mate. It's kind of sporty, isn't it? It's not the same without all of us in it. He's hiding behind the van, look. He won't come on camera. He's being all mardy, look. Anyway.
He's got little sweaty boobs.
He's got sweaty boobs. He won't come on. He won't come on video. Anyway, we just wanted to say thanks for watching. Another fantastic installation. I'm sure it's massively interesting, and look, you should all look forward to the next week's video.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, let's say happy Christmas.
I know, it's nearly October soon. Hiya!